Hi folks, and welcome to this board. Well, that's all pretty standard. We can trash down with Sentry and Moneylender, we can curse with the Witch, and there are no actions. I mean, no villages. We can open Silver and Moneylender. Moneylender is worth it because it helps you, it doesn't slow you down on the way to hitting 5, and well, it trashes too. After we get a Sentry or 2, we can get rid of it, but it will help us to boot our engine. Let's get a second Silver. Obviously hitting 4 and getting a poacher would have been better. Let's get a Sentry first, and I'll gladly take a second one right away. And after that's gonna be Witches. Well, actually one Witch and Labs. Market somewhere on the way. So that's going to be our Witch. Sentry missed, unfortunately. Well, can't trash all that much. Let's discard the Silver because I want to see, I want to increase the chance of my Sentry not missing the shuffle and my Witch not missing the shuffle. So I think I should take a lap here. I will need the market at some point, but right now all the components are kind of expensive. The least expensive thing I want in my deck is a Poacher, which costs 4. So I would need to hit 8 to benefit slightly, at least, from my market. So I'm not ready for that yet. Now let's leave the Silver on top and draw it, and I can take a Poacher here. Getting a lot of Poachers is probably a bad idea here because the curses are going to run out pretty soon. So my opponent is getting a market already, which is a bit too soon, I would say. Well, unfortunately I can hit 5 here, so let's get another Poacher. And let's skip this sweet Sentry and play a Witch. I think I want to take another Silver. Might be an overkill with the Silvers, because I have 3 now, but if I don't want them, I can trash them with Sentry, no problem. Okay, it's nice that I can trash 2 cards here. Actually, I'll get a Seller here. So, unfortunately, my money got all stuck together, which is not what you want to see. I will get rid of the Moneylender now, while I can, because, yeah, and drew the Witch, which is nice. Well, my opponent was able to defend. Okay, so now it looks like I have a lot of money and I would need a plus buy, but it was a very lucky turn, and to increase the chance of the next turn being that good, I'd rather have a lap first, and then if I draw, I can add the market already. Trash the copper. Now let's discard those 3 cards and see what we can draw. Okay, so I discarded 3 bad cards I want to trash, so now I'll trash 2 of them and it's guaranteed. Nice. My opponent can protect himself again. So now it's obviously the time to get a market, and the next turn I'll be able to, well, if I draw the deck, obviously, which looks unlikely at this point, I'll be able to get 2 5 costs. Well, looks like we might get there still. I'm not going to discard those. Here's our market, and that's the curse. Alright, so now let's take market and lab, and on the next turn we'll be able to get century and gold and 5 costs. So the curses are gone now, and actually I will try and discard. Usually you want to play century first, but now I know that I have 3 bad cards in my discard, so I might just try and go and... Alright, should be careful with the poachers. Let's discard the switch. Oh boy, not what I want to see, but I can trash anyway. Let's discard the witch. So now we don't have any curses, and we can have another gold and another lab. I mean, not another gold, that's going to be the first one. So at some point, it's really a bad idea to start buying golds before buying engine components. But at some point, this gold is going to be more valuable to you than another lab or just a market, because, well, in the end you want some payload. So let's look at the trash pile. It looks like my opponent still has a couple of states and a couple of curses. So that's the result of having only 1 century. Let's obviously don't want to discard any of those. We should try and trash this copper. Well, gonna be tricky. I still might be able to do it. Discard the witch, which I don't really want to play. Well, I think I'll leave the witch, because might just want to draw 2 treasures at some point in the end. So let's add the gold and another lamp. Don't really want anything else. Don't want more silvers. My opponent gets gold now, and I would say for him is a bit too soon to do that, and especially getting more silvers, because he's still not trashed down. So these golds he won't really benefit from them. Okay, so this turn we can finally trash this copper, just like that. And so that's the little trick here. I've discarded the sentry, and I can sell her the witch now, and so my discard will be Sentry and Witch, and I have a chance of drawing the Witch back, and then Sentry will be the first, will be left on top of the deck. So I have a 50% chance to leave the very good card on top of my deck. Well, it didn't work out, but you should always try to do such things. I don't want a Witch on top. You should always try and do such things, because it really, that's the small things that helps you, win the game eventually. So here, I can just go and double bronze, but I feel like I don't really need to. I can build more, because my opponent can't empty the piles on surprise, and adding the bronze makes my deck a bit worse, and he's not really catching up, so I'd rather just make my deck a little better and then go for green and then empty the piles probably. Well, yeah, that's another Sentry for my opponent, but imagine how better would it have been for him if he took it before all the markets, or, well, whatever, even before his Witch. So let's just click all the cards here. Doesn't really matter. Well, I'll try to set it, do the same thing again. So now I have two good cards on top, and hooray! So now I have a Sentry on top of my deck, which is a good thing. A lap would have been probably better, but I can empty the piles now, but we are tied still, so let's not do it. But I can just do it like that. Don't really need to buy more provinces. Because my opponent definitely is not able to get province and duchy, or, well, a state and two markets. Discard the silver. Yeah, I should play Sentry first, but I just don't really care at this point, because, well, and let's just end it here. So, thanks for watching, and see you next time.